Good morning. Let me get my wallet on my pocket. It's just uncomfortable. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back for another live stream. All right, it's a members live stream with public viewing and gonna go live on TikTok. Let's go live on TikTok. Oh. What about crypto.com? I know people are going to be eager to ask about the cryptos that are pumping. Oh man, don't buy crypto.com right now. Just wait. That's my answer. And I'm sure somebody's going to ask. It's insane. It's what a pump over the last few days, but I'm not touching it. I would not touch that. Not even close. I wouldn't sell all of it if I do have a little bit, but all right. Whoa, yeah, opened a short on Crow a couple of days ago. That's always dangerous. I don't do it on a larger cap crypto. And knowing crypto.com, the way that it pumps, that's too dangerous. Now, if it was a junk coin, like people asked me about Demo a couple of days ago, I wanted to short Demo, but I couldn't, not on Bitmart or BitUnix. Link is pumping, yeah, JN. Chainlink, there was some announced partnership with the United States government. So Chainlink's pumping. If you guys don't follow me on X, you've got to. I gave you a perfect entry 2 days ago on Chainlink. Perfect entry. 3 days ago, I think, actually. It held that perfectly, and now, I think we're going to ride it to $28 and change. So hello, Mackie. Good morning, D. Big D. Hello, Sam. Yeah, good afternoon, Crowman. Short the junk coins. Like if you saw like Ethereum Classic or Litecoin pumping or Dogecoin, I would not short those. But if you see like Demo, what we saw the other day, API 3, what's the next target? 28, not 30 for Link. So I have a couple levels of resistance here. The 0.5 fib is 29. And then I have a level that I drew a long time ago. I don't even remember why I drew it at $28.73. So yeah, 29-ish. It could wick above that, get to 30. So I do every day like to look at like the big gainers and see if there's anything that would be of interest to short. So wow, okay, so Pith shot up pretty dramatically right now. I might be able to short that. That's interesting because if you don't know what Pith is the Solana version of Chainlink. So this seems like a scam pump to me. Why would Pith benefit from whatever's going on with Chainlink? I'm going to check. I don't know if I'm able to long or short. This is one that I would definitely be interested in shorting. So are these just local targets? Yeah, of course they're local targets. Good morning, Juan. Yeah, I just made a Chainlink video. It's a local target, and I talked about what comes after that would be a, we'd go higher eventually. So Crow, yeah, I would not be buying Crow right now. That's funny. Before I went live on TikTok, I was live on YouTube. I said, I'm sure somebody's going to mention Crow. So can someone recommend a good way to start learning crypto? Man, there's no, what are you going to do? Are you going to read a book? Books on crypto would get outdated very quickly. Please stop spamming. My goodness, Gabriel, you spam the same thing 5 times in a row. I'm assuming, yeah, let's just, you don't even follow me. You're going to get muted. So, all right. Yeah, what's a good way to start learning crypto? I have no idea. When are you taking profits on Jasmy? That's a good question. Let's see, Jasmy here. I have a level drawn out. I really like trading Jasmy. Pith is on BitUnix. Oh, okay, Pith is on BitUnix. Man, I'm tempted to like just do it now. I'm not gonna. I'll wait. I'll wait to see. So a take profit level on on Jasmine would be 0.01708. Let's see. Thank you for watching. I got 25% profit on Link at 29.92. Okay. I could see it wicking up there. How's Bitcoin doing? It's just kind of, I mean, overnight did well. And right now it's just kind of, are we going to be flat today? Is that the game plan for today? I thought that maybe ETH was going to put another leg up today, but looks flat so far. I mean, anything could happen. Maybe tomorrow will be the next leg up for ETH, where it'd get up to maybe like 4,800, and then probably not break the all-time high over the weekend. But too many young peeps wanted to buy Crow means time to sell in my head. Yeah, listen, Crow's going to go higher than that, but I'd be taking profits for sure. I would have absolutely taken profits by now. Will you be closing your longs around lunar eclipse September 17th? That also happens to be the day that the Fed is most likely going to cut rates. So that's what I'd be paying attention to more than lunar eclipse. It depends on what happens in the market up until then. If the market pumps hard until then, yeah, I'll close my longs. If it dumps, then no. Time to sell Ether? Nah, no, not yet. And entering again in October. Oh, whatever the case, I'll let the market lead me. Web3 Stevo, thanks for the follow. You like Chainlink? I like to trade Chainlink. I don't like it for like massive gains. I don't think Chainlink is even going to 2x from here, going to double. Is Vara dead? Vara looks dead. But, I mean, it's the same thing with all these cryptos, man. Yeah, Vara looks dead, but there's a lot of cryptos that just, they'll out of nowhere just explode. Like, look up Dynex, you know? DNX. It looked dead, and then out of nowhere, it had a nice solid pump. So, you know, and I have some hope for DNX. Polkadot, Mar with Polkadot. I don't know what to say about Polkadot, man. Link just soared all of a sudden. There was an announcement of some partnership with the government. I mean, Polkadot, it's at a floor. It can't go down all that much lower than it is. That's all I'll say about Polkadot. So risk to reward is good, but it might bore you to death before it shoots off. You know, you got a 3x. You know, you could triple your investment. Can Flow do anything? Eventually, maybe. Yeah, I mean, another one that just seems to be raising its floor. That's one to accumulate and get bored to death, and then maybe all of a sudden it'll rip. Pith up 50% today. Yeah, I already talked about Pith. I'm gonna look to short that. That's a good crypto to short whenever it pumps. So let's see. Whenever I short a crypto that rips like this, it's always 1x. By the way, just FYI, it is always a 1x short. Because like it's too dangerous. Shorting something like that's up 50%. You know, it could be the next day that it just does another 50% and then dumps. So just keep that in mind. Demo's on Coinbase. I'm down 75%. Why did you buy Demo? Man, it's funny. I tweeted about Demo before going live. Why did you buy that? I said on my last live stream, if I could short Demo, I would. Because exactly what happened with Demo. I mean, look at the chart. Look at every time these scam pumps on Coinbase. Oh, you bought it over a year ago. Okay, all right. These scam pumps on this happens with Coinbase chart cryptos way too much, where they'll just have these massive pumps and then they'll just go right back down. I'm not going to accuse Coinbase of anything, but like that seems kind of sketchy to me. ICP thoughts. I'm just holding on to ICP. I got some. It'll have its time. So, you know, it's another one. It's just another one. Risk to reward, very little downside. Eventually it's going to pop, but when? Crow to the moon. Here we go. Crypto.com. Am I going to have to do a sarcastic Crypto.com dance like I did with LCX in January of 2024? Solana's holding up very well. Oh, yeah, 213. Yeah, Solana looks great. I made an update video on my TikTok account yesterday, WWBTC5. Is this a wick, you know? Is this a wick? It's at key resistance to 786, but it's looking really strong. I'm super encouraged by what I'm seeing with Solana. Eventually that'll rotate over to other cryptos, to their ecosystem, but not right now. Stay into Uni long, moving sideways now, but what's the week looking like? I'd hold on to Uniswap. Foregone is in the house. Yeah, I'd definitely hold on to Uniswap right now. Actually, I might open a long on this. It's at a level that, I talked about this level, $9.83. Yeah, it's flat, but I think it's got a good level of support here. I would hold it. I would have a tight stop, like 950. I remember you mentioned foregone 930 is something as your liquidation price. And, it might get down there, but right now I'd hold on to it. Crow is a trash crypto. It pumps but then loses like 95% of its value. Isn't that every crypto? You like entry point for most cryptos right now? Looking at some of these charts, I'd say so. Unless it's crypto.com, which is pumped like crazy, or Pith. Chainlink, given how much Chainlink is pumped, it's kind of in the middle of a range. I opened a long on Chainlink a couple days ago. So not necessarily Chainlink, but a lot of them are just, they're still in accumulation. I think eventually they'll be worth getting into. Right now you want to accumulate. Who knows what September is going to bring, September's usually a pretty rough month. Crow profit taking targets, please. Now. If you are in Crow, if you bought Crow before this week, now take some profits. I don't have any other profit taking targets. All right, what's up with FET? Again, I'm not super high on AI cryptos. They decoupled from Nvidia like a year ago. Nvidia, it was like these AI cryptos would just follow Nvidia's lead, and then it was a beautiful play with them where you just bought them and then you sold them on the day of the Nvidia earnings report, no matter how well the Nvidia earnings report went. You bought the rumor and sold the news. Now they're dead. They're not dead, but again, I say this over and over again, they've already had their big bull runs. They've done their 100Xs. Would you still buy Sol for long? And what's your price point? I have plenty of Solana, but I don't pay attention to the price. Solana is what I use to get in and out of different cryptos in their ecosystem. So I don't have a price point. I don't think Solana, I made a video on this channel yesterday. So how about you watch that on both my YouTube and my TikTok, a short video, 2-minute video on Solana. I don't think Solana, I'd be ecstatic if Solana went over $400. Boogeyman and Exit Velo, thanks for the follows on this channel. I thought I was already following you. Boogeyman, I got banned on my main account. This guy trying to extort me for money. Not just me, but lots of crypto content creators. So this is a somewhat new account. NVIDIA earnings report was yesterday. Yeah. I don't have a price predict. Guys, you keep asking for price predictions. I don't really have any. I care more about just entries and exits. Now, what I will say is Arbitrum's tokenomics are abysmal, but the chart looks really good. And even right now, maybe a good time to enter Arbitrum for a long. Could it get above its 2024 high? Maybe. There's a lot more supply in circulation right now. In market cap, it can. Getting beyond that would be a little bit more than a 4x in price. We'll see. I don't have high hopes. Pengu profit targets. I don't know, man. Again, there's a couple of things that you guys are going to ask me and you might get frustrated because of the answers that I give. One of them is hey, give me a take profit level. I wish I was more organized. I'm not. You want to ask Ski? We'll go live tomorrow, I'm assuming. We might not actually. Thank you, Exit Velo, for that heart. But I see it pump, I take profits. That's all I do. I don't have a system in place. When we get 1,000 people in this live stream, I'm selling all my crypto. Those are my rules. Hey, what's your opinion on Ben Cowell? I'm assuming you mean Ben Cohen. Red September, massive Bitcoin dominant ship, massive pullback on all something. I don't pay attention to Benjamin Cohen. Now, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I got to give him some props. I mean, he was really high on Bitcoin, really big on Bitcoin dominance, just doing its thing. I look at Bitcoin dominance, I see it's in a clear bear market. So where is he saying that Bitcoin dominance would go? I would not expect it to go beyond, higher than 66%. Could it put in a somewhat of a lower high and get up to 62, 61%? Sure. Now, altcoins, I could see September being rough for altcoins. It just depends. Ethereum looks like it's on the brink of breaking its all-time high and like actually staying up there. But what I think is going to look, if you look at what happened with Ethereum in 2021, here's where something I'll say could line up with Benjamin Cohen's thesis here, is like Ethereum, when it broke through its all-time high, it went a lot higher. Like I don't know the percentages, but it might have been like another 50% rise, and then it dumped and back tested its 2021 all-time high, and that was a huge dump. So could it be that Ethereum breaks through its all-time high, gets in the price discovery, but then and then skyrockets and everyone's like all gaga over Ethereum, and then it dumps super hard and back tests its all-time high, and that happens in September, and alts get hammered pretty hard? I could see that, but it's not like we're 100% aligned. Scotty Crack, thank you for the super chat. I am sorry to tell you, his thoughts on Pith pumping right now. How high short term? I'm looking to short this. I see a cryptocurrency like Pith. I see it do something like this. Pith is not necessarily a cryptocurrency that I would say is of the highest of quality. It's a new utility. I'm very skeptical of new utility, so I'm probably going to open a 1x short on BitUnix after this live stream. Now, maybe I'll wait to just see if Pith, a lot of times when you see a cryptocurrency like this pump, you may see it the next day do an even bigger pump to just, because a lot of people have my mindset of like, oh yeah, now's an opportunity to short it. So I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical of this 50% move, and I'm going to take a risk. If I'll put just a couple $100 in a 1x short, and then if it were to pump even harder tomorrow, I'd add to that. So would you get out of FET at a small loss? Not necessarily, Boogeyman. It'll move with the rest of the market. I'm just not expecting it to outperform the market the way it did in the past. Stang and Kip, thanks for the follow. Favorite long-term hold other than Bitcoin? You got to go OG. I have no trust in these newer coins long term. Honestly, maybe like Dogecoin. Honestly, I know that sounds crazy. Something like a Dogecoin, maybe XRP, VeChain, something like that. Thoughts on Epic Coin? I made a video 2 days ago talking about Epic Coin. I'm in it for not for the long haul, but I expect it to do very well. T-Fuel thoughts? Oh man, I haven't looked at T-Fuel in a while. Is that still a thing? Theta Fuel. It looks dead. I'm sure it'll pump at some point, but I wouldn't touch that right now. What's your mid-cap bet for multiple X's? I don't know, man. Is VeChain a mid-cap? It's number 46 last I checked in market cap. How about VeChain? There's so many options. Maybe Pendle. I'm super high on Pendle. The thing with Pendle though is it's like Pendle's been killing it since its bottom. It bottomed out in March, and it's just been very reliable. And so like, should I prefer to buy something that hasn't had its big, hasn't had that big bounce off the bottom? That's where I would go towards VeChain. What are your thoughts on Aurora? Aurora's trash. I'm sorry, guys. My thoughts on Aurora. I know. Look, Aurora this is what I'm hoping happens with Pith. Aurora had a huge pump 2 days ago and then went right back down. And that's what I expect to happen with Pith. So Aurora, here's the problem with Aurora. I mean, like this was in 2020. The first time I looked at Aurora, I saw that it had 20 times the amount of tokens in circulation than it did at its 2022 peak. January 2022 was when it had its all-time high. And there are now 20 times, no, there were in early 2024, 20 times more Aurora tokens in circulation. I mean, this thing's not going anywhere near its all-time high. I'd be ecstatic if this went with like 2% of its all-time high. I mean, that's probably an exaggeration. I'm assuming it's still just as highly inflationary as it was. I mean, I'm not saying it's 40x from its 2022 peak, but like, man, it's a scam. All these super highly inflationary cryptos, it's all a scam. Now, Aurora, it has a lot to do with Near. So if Near pumps, then maybe Aurora will ride that. So I'm not saying that you just dump your Aurora, but if you're a bag holder of Aurora and you're hoping for it to do anything significant, then I'm sorry. Good luck with that. Do you expect WLFI to go high for September? It's not really on my radar, but sure, I could see that happening. Render. Oh, Boogeyman. All right. El Kukui. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Render opinion. It's the same deal as like, all right, I got to separate. So when I talk about I'm not super bullish on AI, I'm not super bullish on AI that already had their big pump. They existed in 2021, 2022. Render would fit in that. Fetch AI would fit in that. AOs. I am more bullish on newer AI cryptos like Tau and I'm blanking, and other ones. Aside from, unless they have scammy tokenomics. I don't know much about patterns. Does Pendle look like a cup and handle on the weekly? I don't know. Let's see. Cup and handle. I mean, whatever the case, I like Pendle right now. It's a little wonky. You could call it a cup and handle if you want. It's a bit wonky. I could see it getting rejected at 714. That's the 2024 peak. No. 2024 peak's a little higher than that. Okay. Although if you're looking at cup and handle, yeah, that would be 714 rejection. Yeah, maybe. All right, thoughts on Moonwell. Pinlink thoughts. I'm not going to pull up the chart. I already know where Pinlink is. It looks fine. It just looks like it's an accumulation. Moonwell, man, I mean, at least it's higher than it bottomed out in March and April. It's probably a fine one to accumulate. I don't know anything about their tokenomics, though. Holding T-Fuel for over a year. Also just holding for my entry. Good luck. Bio. What's bio? I'm sure. Will I find the right one? Bio Protocol. All right. It's brand new. I have no thoughts on this. I mean, at least the Coinbase chart launched on July 31st. I don't know anything about it. I can't give you thoughts on a new cryptocurrency like this. You think Render will hit 9 to 12 again? What's Render at? Render is, if it's at like $3, I could see it hitting 9. I think it's at 3. Yeah, 360. Yeah, sure. Thank you, Seaholt, for the follow. Dang, bro, you could add some sugar on it. I have no idea, user 217, what you're talking about. But again, guys, I mean, you should know my mindset with crypto. There was a time when we got all excited about crypto being the future, and maybe after we see some kind of a .com bust with crypto. But there's just so much froth. It's the same thing. The same thing happens with new innovation. There's 1,000 computer companies in the 70s. There were over 1,000 car companies in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Only a handful survive. Okay, so you asked me about Aurora, and you want my honest thoughts on it. I'll tell you my honest thoughts on Aurora. Aurora's trash. It's one of the ones that's not going to exist after the .com bust. So, still hyped about Beppe. I will be hyped when we see rotation of meme coins. Right now, it's very much in favor of utility, which is what we need, honestly. How many X's do you think Chainlink has from here? Less than a doubling of its current price. I know that's very conservative, but Chainlink, like I say, I love trading Chainlink, but I always think of Chainlink as a slow mover. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe those people calling for it to go to $100, that they're right. But I'm sticking with, I think I gave a $48 price target on Chainlink. I'm sticking with that. Might be a dumb question. Is there a place to compare supply of tokens by time? The easiest way to do that is, yes, there is. I'll give you 3 ways to do that. One, it's behind a paywall now. It drives me crazy. So I don't go there anymore, but a website called Messari.io, MESSARI.io. If you want to pay to get all their tokenomics data, then go for it. It might honestly be worth it. No, the easiest way is just to go to coinmarketcap.com, click on the all-time chart for any particular crypto, and see the difference between their all-time price chart and their all-time market cap chart. That will communicate to you how inflationary a crypto is. And then also pay attention to their circulating supply. If their circulating supply is almost fully diluted, you don't need to worry about their tokenomics anymore. But if it's like 40% diluted, yeah, you got to worry about it. If it's like WorldCoin, which is less than 10% diluted, you definitely have to worry about that. And then the third thing I would say is that Google such and such crypto vesting releases, and you'll see like their vesting schedule and how much of their supply is going to be dumped into the ecosystem every month or every quarter or whatever. So, but Fetch is now artificial super intelligent. I don't care. Thoughts on Ax and DAO? It's flat, I'm assuming. I could see AXGT ripping really hard when, oh gosh. And this chart looks like death. At some point, I could see there being a nice D-sign narrative, but, Ax and DAO had its big pump in 2024. What's going on with Crow? Please don't spam, guys. I'm not, Guzman, I'm not talking to you. There's somebody else who spammed. Crow had some partnership with something Trump related. Now, I'm not touching it. I would not touch it right now. If I hold a very small amount, if I held like a few $1,000s worth of Crow, I'd definitely be taking profits right now. So give it some time. Where do we go from Crow from here? Let me draw a fib on my screen. I'd be more interested in this maybe at like a 382 at 19.6 cents, something like that, but not right now. Could we be in the meat of alt season? Most dinos up 100% since October 2024. Not getting 2021 all-time highs. That's interesting, Exit Fellow. In the meat of alt season, I would say, right now we're just in Ethereum season. But, some altcoins are very encouraging. I mean, I'm tracking with you a little bit here now that I think about it, because Solana looks really good right now. XRP. Obviously, it's above $3. That XRP above $3. That's still fantastic. What else? I mean, Binance is just killing it right now. Nobody thinks about Binance ever. And then there's some other altcoins that just look really good. So you may be, but I mean, like when we get to like full blown alt season or something similar to where like people get really excited about altcoins, we're just not there yet. People are still really beaten down. So, do you think Bitcoin has bottomed? Oh wait, Pepe again. We're not in the meme coin mode right now. Pepe, I would expect to either be flat or bleed. So give it some time. All right. Do I think Bitcoin is bottomed? Man, I'm 50-50. Give it just. There's a lot of resistance above for Bitcoin. Should I draw that? A lot of resistance above. So I made a video on WWBTC5 on TikTok, but I also posted on YouTube and X and all that. Bitcoin, here's what I would love to see happen with Bitcoin. There's the 4-year trend line, which is currently at like 114.8, something like that, or 7-year trend line. That's going to be resistance. The 20-day EMA is going to be resistance. That's at 14.4. And the 50-day EMA is going to be resistance. That's at 14.2, something like that. So there's 3 layers of resistance. That's going to be very difficult for Bitcoin to break through. If it can do that and then hold that as support, what I would love to see is a breakthrough, a filling of the CME gap, a back test of those levels as support, and then another leg higher. But right now, I cannot say that Bitcoin has bottomed. I can't call that, especially with September looming. So Epic Chain, I already talked about that. Okay, guys, I can't keep up with the TikTok comments, so sorry about that. I will try. I'll answer what I can. Hello, Costa Spawn, Sliced Bread. Thanks for the follow. 92K CME gap. We'll fill it out eventually. Sure. Are you calling for that in September? I would disagree with you. When will the .com crash for crypto happen? Who knows, man? You know, I am of a mindset. I've been looking at the stock market a lot, and I think it's very comparable to what we saw earlier this year, that 26% drop in the S&P 500. I think it was 26%. That was very comparable to 1998, and a lot of people thought it was over in 1998, and then we did a V-shaped recovery. And then what happened after that? I mean, if you look at the NASDAQ in 1999, it more than doubled in that 1 year. And I would not be shocked at all if we faced a big final finishing blow off top. I'm not calling for the NASDAQ to more than double, but like the S&P 500 to pump really hard, the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, the Russell 2000, and how much of an effect would that have on crypto? I would think that crypto would do very well in a scenario like that. But then after that, maybe that's the .com bust of crypto. I have no idea. There's no calling, you know, I mean, if you look at the NASDAQ in the 90s, you could call it bubble, you know, and then it'll go up another 80%. Oh no, this is definitely a bubble. 80%, 150%. Oh, this is definitely a bubble, and they just kept going higher. So the market can, what's the saying? You know, the market can be irrational longer than you can remain solvent. So let's ride this, and then, you know, any sign of weakness, I'm out. Got a request for a Akash. What's up with Akash? Yeah, nothing's up with Akash. I mean, sure, maybe at some point, you know, it's not doing as poorly as a lot of other cryptos, I guess, but, you know, even maybe it's going to do something very soon. No, I can't draw that trend line. Never mind. I don't know. I'm not in love with it. Another highly inflationary crypto. VeChain and Link. You a fan of Pengu? I'm a huge fan of Pengu. That's why it's called a black swan. Literally nobody knows when the bubble burst. Sure. All right, so VeChain and Link. I already talked about Link. Link's kind of in the middle of a range. I think it's going to go short term up to like $28, $29. VeChain. I am in a long on VeChain right now. So VeChain's really close. So 26.5 cents is a heavy level of resistance, and the 200-day moving average. Right now, it's flirting with breaking through the 200-day. I think that's imminent. And then 26.5 cents after that, if we can finally break through that, which it's been more than 6 months of breaking through at least the 200-day, then we'll move to 3.2 cents very quickly. So anyway, can you give some tips on taking profit? Been holding since January of 2024. I'm not a great person to ask that question to. Crypto pumps, I take profits. So I have two rules really. If a crypto pumps, especially if it pumps hard, I take profits. What's the next thing I was going to say? Oh yeah, and then if there's 1,000 people in my live stream, I sell everything. I will this time. I haven't the first 3 times that's happened, which was like literally the day of the peak, 1,000 people in this live stream on TikTok at least. So I'm a fan of RPNC. It would be nice if people stopped cheating RPNC because I'm a fan of it too. I'm a believer. And they have a 10% burn coming up very soon, which they're actually not going to burn. They're just going to distribute 100 million tokens to holders of RPNC. I think that's what they're going to do. So they're calling it a burn, but and the 100 million will be based on how much of a bag you have. So that sounds good to me. Let's see. What can XDC do? I don't have a top price for VeChain. Guys, I don't have many price targets. So we're 85% of the way from the top based on your viewers. Oh, don't pay attention to it like that. Like yeah, no. Because like, what's the total market cap? The total market cap's at 3.87 trillion. We could get to 7 trillion without Bitcoin really making all that much noise. And it's going to be absolute pandemonium. So All right, XDC. XDC will do what XRP does to an extent, you know? So, man, XDC's chart looks bizarre. It's just, oh my goodness. I mean, all right, at some point it'll bottom out. I just don't know. Thoughts on NMR? You know a good YouTube to learn from moving coins from ledger back to exchange. No idea. I'm sure if you just look it up. Oh, wait, NMR. That's something I haven't looked at in a long time. Numeraire. I don't even know how to pronounce that right. Let's see. Oh, don't touch it. This is another one. If I can short this, I'm going to short it. I highly doubt that I can short it. If you're watching this on TikTok, I'm looking at the chart right now. Another one of those cryptos that had this big explosive pump, and oh man, now it's going to go to the moon, and it's probably just going to go straight back down now. So let's see. Is ETH now a buy and hodl? Tom Lee, etc. Yeah, for now. You know, between now and an all-time high, I'd be holding Ethereum for sure. So, all right, Arrow thoughts. Arrow. All right, so I'm a little concerned with Arrow. Just that for the short term, yeah, I wouldn't touch it. The reason why I'm saying that is like I have this level drawn. I don't even remember why I drew this level, but this happens all the time. $1.61 was a key level. You take profits at that level. It got up to $1.60. And now it's like, okay, what are we going to do, Arrow? Now would be an interesting time to be starting a new downtrend on Arrow. Just short term. And I don't know how much lower, like where it would bottom out at. Maybe 98 cents. It might actually go down to 98 cents from here. So be mindful of that. Arbitrum already talked about it. Looks good. I might open along right now. Jasmy, already talked about that. Jasmy is fine. It's just, you know, I mean, I opened a long at the bottom. Oh, gosh. I opened a long at the bottom on 3 days ago. And I'm going to close that long at 0.01708. So shorted Numeraire on Blowfin. All right. I think, you know, as long as you do low leverage, I think that'll work out for you. Chainlink to $100. Alex, 40 is too low. Hey, Coach Ty, do I follow you on this account? I don't, but I will. Okay. I mean, obviously, Ty, you're going to say that $40 is too low. Let's be clear. I said $48. And I am acknowledging that you might be right. But, man, you know, Chainlink in December of 2020 was $25. And where's it at right now? It's $25. So, you know, Chainlink, and the reason why I'm saying that is like Chainlink peaked at 53. I think it was $53 in 2021 when it was at $25 in December of 2020. So like, because of that, December 2020, you bought any crypto, you were pretty much guaranteed at least a 5x from that to the peak. And then here's Chainlink only doubling. Like maybe I'm still bitter about that, but oh, it's fake, Coach Ty? I don't think it says 677,000. I think that's really Coach Ty. If not, I mean, I'll unfollow. Oh wait, 0 following. Maybe that is fake, Coach Ty. I mean, Ty, if you want, I don't care either way. I mean, if you want to verify, you could send me a text. I think it is Coach Ty. Safety, thanks for the follow. You don't follow anyone? I thought we followed. Maybe is that recent that you started? Because I thought we were friends at one point. Like when my old account. All right, it's real Ty. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Not anymore. Okay. All right, it's Ty. So we have differences of opinions, and I hope you're right. Yeah, we're friends in real life. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. He has my phone number. I have his phone number. All right, guys. Okay, it's the real tie. Thank you. Let's move on. Thank you guys for the 500 of you who verified that it's real tie. I'm being sarcastic, but doubting Chainlink is insane. All right, I mean, hey, time will prove me wrong. Okay, that's all I care about. You guys, you're critical of my low price target on Chainlink, and here's the deal. We can agree to disagree now, and then you want to come back here and rub it in my face. I'll be like, crying tears of joy with you rubbing it in my face. So just helping your algo. Thanks, Ty. Link is inevitable. Oh, you guys are actually making me a little bit nervous about Chainlink right now. You're a little too gaga about Chainlink at this moment, but we'll see. Doubt XRP, understandable. We get it, but Chainlink LMAO. I don't know, man. I care about making gains. I'm in a long on Chainlink. I have Chainlink. I like trading Chainlink. All right. Circle with collaboration on XDC thoughts. I don't care. I mean, all the collaboration. All right, Crypto Machinery. See you tomorrow or see you next time I go live. Have a good one. You of all people know not to spam. So, there's always going to be these announcements of collaborations to get you all excited about buying cryptos. I look at the charts. That's all I care about is like, what are the charts telling me? And we'll see. M. Cyan Belay, thanks for the follow. Bitcoin dominance 58%, but no move. So what do you think? I think Bitcoin dominance looks fantastic and fantastically bearish. I'm not worried at all about, oh no, it's been 5 days of Bitcoin dominance at 58%. No, Bitcoin dominance has me excited. I'm jacked. I'm jacked to the tits. Sorry, oh man. All right, so my neighbors are probably like super confused by me. That's a line from The Big Short. So, how did you learn to chart so well? Trial and error, man. And there's a course in my YouTube, any of my YouTube videos, not my live streams, that in the description section of it, by this guy Lewis Raskin. I think my neighbors were laughing at me. It's an awesome course. It's like 40 hours of content. How are we feeling about Pith since we are on a Chainlink rant? Here we go. Here we go, Pith. Again, for I'm looking to short Pith, man. I'm very excited about shorting Pith. So I'm glad I didn't open a short during this live stream because it's up even more. But I'm telling you, I'm going to monitor. I'm going to watch that 5-minute chart like a hawk, and I'm going to be licking my lips for an opportunity to short Pith. Pith is garbage. So I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I just their tokenomics are garbage. So, Jock, thanks for the follow. How about XYO? Oh, what's up with XYO? I mean, another one that just bores you to death and then just shoots off like crazy. So you want to hold on to XYO right now. I mean, the floor's holding very well, but it might just bore you to death. Do you watch Jordan Camerand on YouTube? Agree with his outlook? I have no idea who that is. Jordan Camerand? I'll just type in his name. I'll look him up after this. There are very few people whose opinions I pay attention to, like the blockchain backer and maybe a couple other people. Because I don't mean to say this. I know this is going to sound really arrogant, but like I'll even join. I'll subscribe to his channel. I just no idea who this is. I've been more on point than almost everyone that I pay attention to. I know that sounds crazy, like from a momentum perspective of like what's the direction we're going in. Like I have been more with the flow of the market than almost everyone I pay attention to. So I'm just tired. Like I'm tired. What's happened to me too much is that I'll have a thesis of where things are going to go. And then I'll see somebody who I think is smarter than me say something that disagrees with my thesis. and then I'll make a change in whatever I'm trading, however I'm trading, and then I'll lose money. That happens to be way too much. It's like I've gotten to the point where I need to learn to trust my instincts more, which is why I have no idea who Jordan Cameron is and what his outlook is. So thank you, PETA. Clabreezy, thank you for those gifts. Tank, thanks for the follow. Luna, you want to look at Luna? What's the most that you've made on a perp trade? I have no idea. Listen, my risk tolerance is very low. All right. So I'm sure it's a few $1,000s. I don't think I've ever made $10,000 on a perp trade. Luna, why am I pulling up Luna? There's Luna Classic. Ugh. All right, the OKX chart looks terrible. Yeah, I don't. Zero interest. You did call the top in Q4 2024, just never followed suit. I called it and I kind of followed suit. I sold 40%. So it's like I've locked in. I locked in my profits. I've already won multiple times for this cycle. Pull back next week. We have unemployment. We have the unemployment report coming out in next Friday. So that's going to be, I'm sure there's going to be some caution with that. Maybe. Oh, I'm not saying Luna for now. We used to discuss Luna back in 2021. Sure. Did we ever hit your top signal live viewers number 2 is cycle? I think I know what you're saying, TikTok burner account. We hit it in March of 2024. There were 2 days that we got above 1,000 viewers in March of 2024. In December of 2024, we got up to like 700. Except for there was this one time where there was this like random surge. We got to like 1,400 viewers and then it went right back down to 700. I don't count that. So any thoughts on Crow? If I'm holding Crow, I am holding a very small amount of Crow. But if I was holding a lot of Crow, I would be taking profits right now. If I was interested in buying Crow, I would not be buying Crow right now. I'd wait until under 20 cents. What was your last purchase? Probably some meme coin. I have no idea. Any thoughts on IMX? Yeah, we're safe. Yeah. 56 cents. I mean, sure. It can go higher. Another very highly inflationary crypto. There's nothing about it that screams buy right now. It's struggling to break the 200-day. Mark, thank you for the follow. VRA. Okay. VRA. You've spammed it enough that you've worn me down. And now you're asking about something else. Of course you are. You're like one of my kids. It's like one of my kids will ask me a question, and while I'm answering the question, he'll ask a totally different question. Like who would win in a fight between a freight train and a volcano? That's literally a question that I've received from my kids while I'm trying to answer a different question. So thank you, News Junkie, for the follow. VRA... Not at a level that I'm interested in right now. Again, the 200-day moving average could be. Now it is holding the 50-day, so maybe there's going to be a battle here. I just tend to think it's gonna dump from there. So, will XRP hit $5 before everything takes a big dump this year? I tend to think so. Yeah. Hey, Crypto Machinery, muted Crypto Machinery. Thanks for the follow. Are you trying to get my attention? You spammed about Chainlink, and you get pretty aggressive during the live stream. So see you tomorrow or whenever. Is Quant ready to explode? Now listen, I've already talked about Quant, like $100 being a really good entry on Quant. It's do or die here soon for Quant. I mean, not necessarily die. Where'd it get to? Yeah, of course it got to one. I said 100 would be a good entry. It got to $100.74. Thoughts on DOT? Nah, I mean, DOT looks terrible right now, but at some point, I mean, listen, Juan, the risk to reward is in your favor if you buy DOT. It just could take a while. Tommy, thanks for the follow, or Tommy. Talk about WikiCat. Next. Sorry, some random meme coin. I have nothing. I have no idea what that is. User 631, thank you. If altcoins don't pump at all this year, you think it's done, or could it go up in 2026? I think it could go up in 2026. Guys, you guys should know. I mean, if you're new here, why? I don't know. But I mean, looking at the flow of liquidity right now, we are still very much in a position where it's like it's barely trending upwards, but it may be that, you know, especially with my thesis on where the stock market is going, that it could hit a blow off top in 2026. So I'm not one of those people who's ride or die for 2025. I'm just not. Now, I do fear that a lot of people are going to get disillusioned if it doesn't happen in 2025, and they'll just give up, and the market would dump. But if the market dumped as a result of people just assuming that it's going to happen in 2025, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it was just a massive fake out. You know, just a fake out where like maybe Bitcoin goes down to $80,000 and altcoins get hit really hard. And then everyone's like, all right, we're just going to buy back at the end of 2026. And then like sometime in March or April, it goes crazy and retail just gets flat footed like crazy. I wouldn't be surprised at all if something like that happened. So user 631, thanks for the follow. Floki looks really bad right now. But I mean, again, it's another one that it's another one that at the proper time, Floki, I think, will do well. I just saw an amazing list tracking all the bull market top signals / progress in real time. Currently 0 out of 30. I've seen that same list. I'm skeptical. I wouldn't be surprised if at the peak, you know, if it's in 2025, whatever we peak at in 2025, if it hasn't happened already, that like one of those things would happen. Hey, Alex, what do you think about LCX? Hey, Anuraj, I made a video yesterday talking about LCX. So I think the same thing that I thought in that video. Check it out. Fair. Hey, I just hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you, Ryan. Index, please. Man, that's one I haven't looked at in a long time. I got nothing for you. This has really weird spikes. Another Coinbase one. What about Crow? Oh, man. It's... This is how it feels to be on a live stream. All right. It's all good. Target for Crow is still $1 or change after the news. I mean, I didn't necessarily have a $1 target for Crow. I think it will get to $1, but I mean, I could see it going higher than that. Thank you, user 631. Maybe I'll make a video about Crow. I know everyone's really excited about Crow. Oh man, it pumps so much. I just wouldn't touch it if you haven't been holding. How you feeling about HEEHEE? Clabrizi, I'll feel great about HEEHEE when the time comes. You know, meme coins are underperforming utility, and that's what we need right now. Sui target, I don't really have targets, guys. Again, I mean, I could see Sui getting up to like $8, $9, something like that, maybe. Thank you, notification. Nexo are paying 9% for XRP. Do you know anything about it? Nexo paying 9%. I don't know what you mean. 9% for XRP. You want a weird chart that I'm holding? Senko Game Corp. Ticker is censored by TikTok. What is this? It doesn't look all that weird to me. It looks like a normal junk coin chart. Hello, Liza. I personally only have a bag of Ori chain and a 0 for now, despite asking. I'm sorry. Both of those are terrible. You know, maybe at some point they'll move, but both of those are just absolute trash. Oh, especially a 0. What do you do? Why do you have those cryptos? Oh man, ugh. Sorry, I just like threw up in my mouth a little bit. WikiCat is the leading meme coin on BNB. Did a 25x for the month already. Hey, there's a good reason to not buy it. Cool, it did a 25x. Yeah, I'm not touching that. Loop Ring. I'm sure there's nothing exciting about Loop Ring right now, but let's see. Yeah, there's nothing exciting about Loop Ring right now. But again, I mean, again, with a lot of these altcoins, it's like they're not going all that much lower than they are now. So sure, you want to buy it in the hopes that they have some kind of explosive move. Loop Ring doesn't have bad tokenomics. It did put in a higher high at its 2021 peak than its 2018 peak. I don't think it's going to do that this time. So yeah, maybe Loop Ring's the way to go. Bone Fita is holding strong. See you November. Have a great one. Okay, see ya. You reckon? I reckon something. XLM. I'm holding XLM. Give it some time. When do you think it will be next big move up in altcoins? October or November? October. October is just a great month. All right, video on Crow. Yeah, maybe I will. Loving Chainlink in the news. Yeah, Link looks good. You know, I gave you a perfect entry 3 days ago on my X account. WW Bitcoin. Head on over there. Hit the follow. Hello, Alex. How hard do you think Kronos is going to go? I know, True Freddy, I have nothing but love for you, and don't take that personally. I just sometimes a cryptocurrency will do something that just makes me want to shoot myself. Because I know I'm going to be asked about it over and over again. Like if you rewatch this live stream on YouTube, it's the first thing I talk about because I know. Like I'm just like, I can't wait to get bombarded with crypto.com questions. You show incredible patience. I think I don't. That's the thing. Maybe that's like the entertainment factor of my channel is like, I don't show incredible patience. You know, I need to. I have 7 kids. It's going to get worse. Yes, fair value guy. Thank you for answering the question. Thoughts on High Street? Hey, there's one I haven't heard about. Or I haven't been asked about. So I haven't looked at this in a long time. Just your typical dead looking crypto. Please bang the table again and again. Crypto machinery, you're such a tool, man. I know. I'm going to unfollow and follow. And don't you have anything better to do with your time? Have you talked about Giga? Fortunately, I haven't. Nah, I mean, yeah. You want to buy some Giga in anticipation of something, you got to be very patient. Ryan, thanks for the follow. Talk about Lofi. I have some Lofi. I'm down on it since, you know, I bought some. First of all, I made a lot on Lofi when it first launched. But Lofi, man. Now, the thing about Lofi, I have no doubt that when things get hot, Lofi's going to pump really hard. But it's just straight down, you know? What are you going to do with this? So, Crow to the moon. Man, yeah, we haven't talked about Crow. What's Crow up to? Let's see here. Oh, wow. Crow's up 21% today after having 3 straight massive green can. Oh my goodness. Guys, did you know? Crow's on fire. I better get some. Spoken on ICP. ICP looks like a typical altcoin chart. Just looks really bad, but another one, very low risk to reward. So total 2 looks decent. Yeah, so it's interesting because like it feels like we're gonna fall off a cliff sometimes, but like total 2 looks really good. And I'd say the total altcoin market cap looks good. It's holding support, but total 2 looks great. Yeah, Pepe's going to crank at some point. It just might be a while. AVAX. You see Crow's already retracing now. So maybe, yeah, maybe 20 cents. Let me look at Avalanche. $24.77. I mean, man, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by Avalanche's chart. It looks like it's just building up a floor, raising the floor over and over again. It hasn't had like a big rip lately, but it may be soon. Rismus hitting all-time highs. I don't think so, but there's still a lot of X's for Rismus between now and whenever it peaks. You're the best person in crypto. Thank you for what you do. I am not, but I appreciate that. Oh, man. Yeah, Radium's rocketing. I mean, Labledo, thanks for the follow. I mean, Solana's doing well, so Radium, sure. Pengu, please, Alex. I mean, Pengu's not making much noise lately, but again, I'm super bullish on Pengu. Super bullish. Pengu can go a little bit lower and still be bullish. Richard Hart is the best man in crypto. Either you're joking or you're a hex fanatic or pulse chain fanatic. RPNC, I still hold some RPNC. Bubba Disco, thank you so much. Pepe or Fetch? Oh, Pepe, easy. Between those two. Now, Fetch might outperform Pepe over the next month or so, but I have very little doubt between Pepe. And thank you. HEEHEE all the way. Yes. Thank you so much. Thoughts on his win against the SEC? Cool. Everyone beat the SEC. AVAX and Ondo will follow Crow when World Liberty gets involved. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised, Rob. Yeah. Yeah, you're a Richard Hart fanatic. I figured. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten today, and I'm gonna be done. So I'm a little familiar with ZRX. I'm not super familiar with it, but oh man, can't wait to short Pith. Crypto Machinery, you're the best. Thank you so much for that follow. All right. Thank you all on YouTube as well. Have a good one.